I want to give you a real quick overview on what Google Drive is, what the capabilities of Google are, and when you're using Google Apps for Education, remember that everything is housed under your domain, whatever your school is called. For instance, ours is at ssccards.org. Here's just kind of what some of it looks like. The general overview of the Google. Here's the mail. There's some different ways to do sheets and documents and calendars. You can do a Google Hangout, which is kind of similar to a Skype, but the Google Hangout allows you to have up to 10 people on at the same time. Here's some of the neat advantages of using Google Apps. One of the first ones is real-time collaboration. When you are typing something and you've already shared it with another colleague or classmate or whatever the case is, they can see you updating in real time. So every time you type something, it appears on their computer as well. Also, it saves after every keystroke. So as soon as you type something, it automatically saves. This eliminates the problem of, well, I saved it somewhere, but I don't know where I saved it. It's saving it for you, worked in your drive, your Google Drive. There's also a really nice feature called a revision history. The revision history allows you to go back and see who made the corrections, who made the changes. This is very beneficial if you're working on a group project. You can see which students or which colleagues added or deleted part of the project. You can have up to 50 people on a document or a presentation at one time. Now that doesn't seem like it would happen very often, but it is one of the powerful features of Google. Here's an example document. This is a document and it shows you how you can add comments over to the side. The document is very similar to what a Microsoft Word document is. Some of the differences are that the Google document allows you to do the real-time collaboration. You're sharing things instead of emailing them to your colleagues or classmates. And also all of your tools are right up here. Now it's kind of a watered-down version of Microsoft Office. However, the commenting feature like this over here and the ability to share, and any computer that has internet will allow you to pull it up right away. So again, that's a Google document. Next part, here's kind of what the Google encompasses. We have the Gmail, which is just the mail version. You have Calendar, and calendars are very powerful. Calendars allow you to create a calendar and share with certain people. It also allows you to embed the calendar into your website so you can show the students what is upcoming, what is due. Documents, as I just briefly touched on, documents are similar to Microsoft Office documents. Presentations are similar to a PowerPoint, and again, the presentation is online, it's in the cloud, it's real-time collaboration. Forms are very wonderful to use if you're going to take an interest survey, give a CFA, do an L to J quiz, do an exit ticket. Anything that you want the students to fill out and you don't want to spend the time checking, you can use Google Forms for. Spreadsheets are nice to do for, that's where you're getting your information. When a student fills out a form, it automatically fills in to a spreadsheet. Here's a site. Here's my Covington site that I've created. So on the left hand side, I've put all of my tabs that I want students to be able to go to. So instead of emailing the students or going around to every computer and typing in the website address, I can just put all of my links right here. I can put pictures on here. I can go down here and create the calendar. This is like I was saying earlier. So for my students, they can see, oh, okay, there's no school, October 28th, here's conferences, here's projects are due. They can click there and they can get more information. There's also a really cool thing that's called Google+. Now Google+ is kind of like a Facebook, Pinterest, everything just rolled up together. The great advantage of doing this is if you have a question about something with Google Apps, you can go to a community, and the communities are really easy to find. Here's a community right here. I can find the community that I'm looking for. I can type in a question, and immediately you'll have a ton of answers about what your situation is. Gmail and Calendar, here's what the Google Gmail looks like. Very basic, and the nice thing is you can create folders. You can email all of your students at one time. You can email individual students. There's a lot of neat features that you can kind of just play around with. I've used this for over a year and I'm only at 7/100 of a gigabyte, and I have 30 total gigabytes, so you should not have to worry about that at all. And here's what the calendar looks like on kind of the back end side, my side. Now, I've set up a ton of different calendars. I have calendars for different things with school. I have some fun interest calendars. I have different football schedules. I have the weather on here, and all of these things can be individually shared with students, or you can share with a wide range of students. It's a real nice feature to be able to get your students to be responsible for what they're working on. Here's documents, and now documents, you can let your imagination run wild with this. You can do writing assignments, which is nice because the teacher then can just come on and make comments. Instead of taking home notebooks, they can just write comments. You can have the students do essays, daily 5, they can do poems, book talks, book reports. Here's an example of the project directions in which we created and then we shared it with our students. So instead of telling the students, hey, here's all your directions, hopefully you remember it, I can now just type it up in a document. I can insert images or links to YouTube. Here's a link to a website in which it has all of our videos we need. This is simply shared with all of the students that I need. They all get it on their Shared With Me drive, and then they can start to work. Here's an example of lesson plans. Now, lesson plans are really nice to do this way for several reasons. One of them is the online real-time collaboration. Now you can see that I worked with Kendall Thompson on this, and he was able to come on at a different time. I was on at 1:27, he was on at 12:57. So he wrote a comment, typed a comment. I could get on, see what he was talking about, and make the appropriate changes. Presentations. Now, the video that you're watching right now is an example of the presentation right here. It has the PowerPoint with it. Now, here's an example of a student presentation. This shows that you can put in images, you can put in all the fancy letters, the word art, you can hyperlink videos, you can do all the neat features that you want to do. And remember, this is saved after every single time you type something or click something. Forms. Now, I will show another video later on about how to dive into deeper content and information about doing forms, but what I want you to know is that it's there. You can create tests, quizzes, CFAs, L to J's, interest surveys. If you're voting for homecoming king and queen, whatever you want the students to fill out on paper, with it, maybe it's a math worksheet. If you want them to fill it out on paper and you have to take the time to check it, maybe it's 2-3 hours to check, you can fill it out in a form. It's much quicker. Really nice feature is Flubaroo. Flubaroo can grade it for you. So when you have the students fill out a test, you do a couple of quick things, and I'll show you that in a different video, and Flubaroo can actually grade it. I'm not going to dive into the examples here. We'll do that another time. Sharing features. When you share a document or presentation with other classmates or colleagues, you can set it so it's view only. The students can't delete your master copy. They can make a copy on their drive, but they cannot do anything to your copy. You can also edit. You can give them editing privileges. When you give them editing privileges, that means they're going to collaborate on the same document or presentation. You can also set it up where it's just commenting features, where the students or a teacher can leave a comment. For instance, if you're doing your lesson plans, you want that to be editing so that they can collaborate at the same time. Whereas maybe if I'm doing my master directions for a presentation or a project, I just want that to be view only. And I'll show you real quickly what that looks like. Here's an example of just a lesson plan that I made up for a sub when I was gone. I can click on share. Now when I click on share, it's private to only me, so I'm the only person that can see it. Well, if I want to invite somebody, I can invite them. Maybe I'm going to type in Kendall. I'm going to type in his name. It's already saved because I've sent numerous things to him. I can have him edit, comment, or view. If he is a teacher that's going to see these lesson plans, he just needs can view. He doesn't need to do anything to my lesson plan. So I can just put can view. Now I can notify him by email, or I can uncheck that and I can hit share and save. On his drive, he would receive this document right here. Now, if you have any more questions about Google Apps, please email me through the SaoSue email, or you can just watch another video and I will be putting out more videos. Thank you very much.